Did the police minister cross the line? Confirmed he had no power to disband the killings task team. Netanyahu flies to the US, one of the few places he won't face arrest, and vows to tell Israel's truth at the UN. South Africa's Christian Sadi splashes to triple medal success at World Para Swimming Champs. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Now, you may have experienced it already if you live in Gauteng or the northwest, the severe thunderstorms. The Weather Services has issued a yellow level 2 warning for disruptive rainfall that may lead to localized flooding. The head of the SAP's legal division, Major General Petronella van Rooyen, claims Police Minister Senzo Mchunu didn't have the authority to issue an instruction to disband the KZN political killings task team. Van Rooyen is testifying before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry in Pretoria. She says the task team falls under an operational matter, which is the sole responsibility of the National Police Commissioner.
It can never be appropriate for a minister to instruct the National Commissioner not only to disband the PKTT, but also to say that the disbandment must be done immediately.
Another issue she spoke to was that of the 121 dockets. And we know that the Deputy National Police Commissioner responsible for crime detection, who's since been suspended, Shadrach Sibia, has been at the center of this debacle, in that he issued an instruction for the case dockets investigated by the political killings task team to be sent to National Police Headquarters in Pretoria, to his office, taking them away from the KZN political killings task team, something that Major General van Rooyen said was also illegal and irregular from a law perspective. But at the end of the day, it is up to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and the commissioners hearing the testimony to issue out a final decision whether they believe that instruction by Mchunu and the instruction by Sibia were unlawful or not. I think something worth mentioning that Major General van Rooyen touched on was general observations that she made towards the end of her testimony today, aspects to assist the commission. And one of those things was contained in that letter by Senzo Mchunu on the 31st of December, which a lot of people have maybe overlooked. And that was Mchunu saying that the filling of vacant posts within crime intelligence, both provincial and nationally, must be halted immediately. And she says that was a decision, which was an executive decision, which he overreached on. He should never have issued that instruction, as it doesn't pertain to his roles and responsibilities as a police minister. It's important to note that part of that letter for the instruction for the KZN political killings task team to be disbanded, Mchunu also suggested that crime intelligence posts must be halted or frozen as of when he issued that letter. Tomorrow we're expecting to hear the testimony from someone from the NPA, someone who we don't know yet until they appear before the commission. For Eyewitness News, I'm Arun Singh.
The Kuruleni Metropolitan Police Department's Deputy Chief Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi is once again in trouble after a motion was tabled for his suspension over alleged links to the alleged underworld figure Chief Cat Matlala. Mkhwanazi is accused of supplying EMPD blue lights to Matlala, which were later installed on the alleged crime boss's personal vehicles in 2023. His name also surfaced at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry last week, where he was accused of granting Matlala unlawful favours. Matlala is currently being held at the Khosi Mampuru Correctional Facility in Pretoria, facing charges of attempted murder against his former partner actress, Tebogo Tobejane. The Hawks have once again pounced on Joburg City Power's headquarters, this time seeking details about a questionable 67 million rand contract. It's understood the probe is linked to a purchase order for electricity transformers in 2023. Well-placed sources have told EWN that although 67 million was paid, the transformers were never delivered. The Hawks have confirmed it conducted a search and seizure as part of its ongoing investigation into City Power tenders.
They have been basically requesting some information now and then, and we have been cooperating, and we will, as City Power, be cooperating with any of the investigations, either by the Hawks or any other authorized legal entity of government.
The Road Accident Fund says it has resumed paying hundreds of long outstanding claims, starting with those older than 180 days. Valued at around 20 billion rand, more than 3 billion has already been paid in the past 2 weeks. The announcement comes after a new board was appointed last month ahead of Parliament's inquiry into the fund's finances. Interim Chair Kenneth Brown says the board will publish bi-monthly updates on payment progress.
The RAF's new board says it's done a comprehensive review of claims older than 180 days and it's giving priority to settling them. It expects to pay out more than 4 billion rand in claims every month as it seeks to reduce the number of claims waiting to be processed. The RAF says it's also put controls in place to ensure supporting documentation is reviewed promptly to avoid delays in making payments. The interim board, under the leadership of a former Treasury official, Kenneth Brown, is also pledging to make public bi-monthly reports detailing the progress made in payments. Acknowledging the numerous claims-related complaints it has received ahead of its inquiry into financial mismanagement at the RAF, Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts said last week these would not be considered, since it falls outside the scope of its probe. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
The Constitutional Court is today hearing arguments that could change how rape cases are prosecuted under the Sexual Offences Act. This follows a landmark Pretoria High Court ruling last year, which found the Act should be revised to address the issue of so-called believed consent. The case was brought by NPO, the Embrace Project, which argues that if any accused claims consent, they should prove they took reasonable steps to confirm it. Senior counsel Nazreen Raja Badlender faced tough questions from the judges this morning, but groups like the Centre for Applied Legal Studies and the Women's Legal Centre posed changing the law, warning of wider implications.
Yes, we say that if the accused raises consent as a defence, then he must prove that he took reasonable steps to ascertain that consent.
A promise we really hope he'll keep.
But I want to say to the country that we are going to end load reduction in the next 12 months. Once we get that cooperation, there are parts of the country where we are confident we'll get that cooperation. There are parts of the country where we know it's going to be difficult.
He's also said since 2023, the country's generation capacity has risen from 43% to 70% in 2025. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has lashed out at Western leaders recognizing a Palestinian state, calling it a, quote, shameful capitulation to terror. He is on his way to the US to address the United Nations. He's also promised to condemn leaders pushing for Palestinian statehood and meets President Donald Trump in Washington before addressing the General Assembly on Friday. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has been convicted of criminal conspiracy in a Paris court, but cleared of corruption and illegal campaign financing. The case centered on claims that late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi helped bankroll his 2007 election campaign. Sarkozy, already convicted in 2 other cases, denies wrongdoing. South Africa's Christian Sadi is making waves at the World Paris Swimming Championships in Singapore, bagging 3 medals so far. He won bronze in the S7 50-meter butterfly today, adding to a bronze in the 100-meter backstroke and a silver in the 200-meter individual medley earlier this week. Sadi, who lives with radial club hands, is no stranger to the podium, with medals from the Paralympics, Commonwealth Games, and last year's championships already to his name. And we pass our congratulations on as well. See you for more again tomorrow.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.